Hello everybody and welcome back to SparkleDart. Today I'd like to discuss deep sea fishing because it's my favorite topic in the whole world. So anyways, you take your scuba, your submersible, and take it down real far underneath the ocean, and then you start casting your lure, but then a bunch of water gets into your boat. What do? Yes, you have a boat like 40,000 leagues under the sea. Yes, the sea is that deep. Yes. The sea is a very unforgiving place, and I think you will understand why it's my favorite place in the whole world, is because you have to be you can't be a blowhard to get to the bottom of the sea. You have to be a real, unforgiving, relentless, respectable man who doesn't take no for an answer unless it's from a lady and she is very serious about it. Be like, she says no, you'd be like, I respect your opinion because I am a man and I am not a child. Only a child would ever disrespect a lady who said no to him. I think that is true. And anyways, deep sea fishing, you want to catch something like a irrelecanth. That's what you have to do. You have to catch the biggest nut possible to reel in all the fish that you've never seen before. That's how people discover new fish. There are all sorts of new fish underneath the ocean that you've never seen before. Isn't that ridiculous? You could go down there and catch fish for like 15 years and see something new every time, like the hatchetfish. Look up the hatchetfish on Google. It's the scariest looking fish you'll ever see. It's got these big scary eyes that say, help me, I've been tortured my whole life and I just want it all to end. The anglerfish is also one, but you know about the anglerfish because it's the most casual of all of the deep sea fish, if I might say so myself. And I would say that myself because that is the opinion that I hold. And go ahead and try and defy me, I dare you. Alright, so this guy, he's not going to take no for an answer either, so I'm just going to push him into the lava and then we will be done with that. So anyways, yeah, James Cameron went deep sea fishing. Well, I wouldn't say fishing exactly because he just went underwater in a submersible down to the Challenger Deep, which is the lowest part of the ocean that we've discovered so far in the Mariana Trench. And here's a fun fact about the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench is that people think it's like a super narrow canyon. It's more like a super wide valley, and it's like right off of the coast of Japan. People don't know that it's not like a narrow canyon for some reason. I think because the depth maps of it don't really do it justice. Now, if you've ever heard of a webcomic called XKCD, he's talked about Randall Munro has done like a depth chart of all of the deepest points of the ocean, deepest like bodies of water in the world, like Lake Vladivostok, which I think is the deepest lake in the world, which is a lake in Russia, and it is very deep, and it's so crazy that there are lakes that are as deep as some parts of the ocean, but it's just the truth, like it's thousands of feet deep. What are you supposed to do about that? Going off of that, there's this crazy phenomenon that I don't remember the name of exactly, but it's basically what happens is you have a super deep and super narrow lake. I think Lake, what was it called? The lake that Krakatoa is centered around. I don't know. I'm never gonna remember. Anyways, there's a super deep lake that is like part of a volcanic system, and the lake is super narrow and super deep. And a lot of carbon dioxide gets trapped at the bottom of this lake because it's just so deep that it's impossible for it to escape naturally via the regular process of water going down to the bottom of the lake and coming back up. That just doesn't happen as often or as much or maybe even at all. So this carbon dioxide gets trapped at the bottom of the lake, and then what can wind up happening is a chain reaction setting off all of this carbon dioxide coming up from the bottom of the lake, build up after like 40,000 years, because in geological time 40,000 years isn't really that much. And all this carbon dioxide comes up and it just kills everything. It kills all the livestock and all of the farmers and all of the villagers that live around the lake, which this was like thousands of years ago that this happened, or maybe even hundreds of years ago that this happened the last time in any notable sort of instance. But this does happen, and it does happen sometimes, pretty frequently in terms of Earth history, in the history of terra firma, as I like to call the Earth, because I'm a science nerd and I listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan all the time, and I like to correct people when they say something that I think is wrong, even if it's not wrong, just because I remember hearing it one way that I read on Wikipedia or I was on Reddit.com, and somebody said something one way. I'm like, okay, that's got to be the correct way, because they presume to be a an expert on the matter, and I will never question anything that I read online because it must all be definitively true. If somebody would claim that they are an astrophysicist, why would they lie about that at all? So that's basically my point. Is if they say something like that, why would they lie? I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. There's no good reason to lie to people that you don't know online, because why? It's so unethical. It's so unbecoming of a strong young man like yourself. Why would you do that? People respect you, and if you are found out to be a liar, then they won't respect you. Like if you want to get a job as a graphic design artist, and then you start submitting other people's work into your portfolio and use that as your portfolio, and then you get hired under false pretenses, then they find out like 3 months later that was the case, then it'll be like, okay, well, what do we do now? Do we fire him? I think we should fire him because he was making all these bold, sweeping claims that he knows how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, and it turns out that he doesn't. So let's just get rid of him, right? Pardon me now. I say burps every episode, but I've been coughing more than burping lately, so I apologize for that too. Anyways, gosh, that was a real tangent, wasn't it? I forgot. Oh, I don't like this. This is bad. Okay. I forgot where that one started, so I think I'll start on a new tangent. If you've ever been in a play and you've been playing like the main role in the play, like if you're maybe in Sweeney Todd and you get the role of Sweeney Todd instead of just some background sailor or bobber or something like that, like whatever role. What was his name? Sacha Baron Cohen had in the Little Barbershop of Horrors. He was like that traveling salesman or something. He had like some sort of nerve tonic, I guess. I don't remember exactly what it was. Apologize, burps. And then somebody like joins in your song, your solo song that you're singing, or maybe you're doing Les Miserables and you're playing Javier or whatever his name was, the cop, Javier. And you're singing Stars, and then whichever the actor was that you had doing Jean Valjean, he starts chiming in with you. Oh, I beat this one already. I guess I'll just leave. Okay, goodbye. He starts singing along with you when you're singing Stars. It's like, brother, this song is not a duet. I think you would know that if you knew anything about this musical, the production of Les Miserables. That Stars is supposed to be Javier's hot song, his swan song for why he can't capture Jean Valjean, and he's like, well, what do I do now? Do I just like turn in the towel? Do I like pretend like he wasn't my rival the whole time and now I should just give up and like go like skeet hunting or something like that, snipe hunting, or whatever it was on that episode of King of the Hill that I remember what now, where they're going like loo loo loo. You know the one I'm talking about. You watch King of the Hill because you watch Adult Swim, right? I bet. You know the one I'm talking about. Even though I don't really play King of the Hill anymore, you should watch King of the Hill. It's a good show. Mike Judge, Office Space, The Good Family. He did the voice of Kenny in the South Park movie, which I talked about a couple of episodes ago. Go watch that again. I was talking about that. Now it's like, okay, well, you don't sound like a complete psychopath anymore, so I'm going to respect you. And I'm like, that's good. That's exactly what I was going for. Not a total psychopath. That's been my MO the whole time, is not a total psychopath. So thank you for finally catching on and seeing exactly what it was I was going for. I thought it was lost on everybody else, but it turns out if one person can get it, then it's all worth it in the end, I think. So anyways, I was talking about being in plays. They've got one actor who wants to just like upstage you, but he's like not the main. He's not like playing a main character, but he's really jealous that you got the pot over him because he just wasn't very good at what he was doing. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to sing my solo now, not the song that I'm sharing with anybody else. And he's like, well, I would like to sing the song with you, so I'm going to do just that. And then it's like causing this huge rift, and he's like stealing the show. And you're like, what are you doing? You're stealing the show. You're stealing the spotlight. I don't understand why you're doing this to me. What have I ever done to do anything like this to deserve this sort of treatment from my co-actors? Is that what you call other people who are acting alongside you when they're not doing a very good job? They're your co-actors? Is that the right term? Your brothers, your siblings. Oh, here's a fun fact. If you have a group of nieces and nephews, like your sister has like two boys and two girls, there's actually a term for what you would call them. They're called your nibblings. And you might not think that that's true, and maybe you're rightful for not thinking that that's true. Maybe think I'm just being a wise guy, because apparently I do that a lot. They're called your nibblings, and you will call them that, and you will thank me. You will call me on the phone and tell me, thank you, SparkleDart, for telling me that information, because I didn't know, and now I do know, and now I won't sound like a fool at social gatherings, even though you probably, to be honest, will still sound like a fool for saying a word that nobody else knows, because for some reason people are really threatened by words that they've never heard before. And even if you're like a somewhat smart human being, and then you say something that like someone doesn't know, they'll like think they might think that you're stupid for saying a word that they don't know. That's happened to me before. I used to use words all the time that people didn't know to sound like a pseudo-intellectual, but it turned out I was using them wrong. Like the word meticulous, I used to think it meant rowing a boat really fast, and it turns out that that's actually not true. So whenever I use the word, we'd go like canoeing and physical education, which is a callback now. People would be like, what do you mean rowing a canoe? You calling it meticulous? It is a little bit meticulous, but I think you're using that word wrong, and I think you should apologize to everybody for using that word wrong, because not only do you sound ridiculous, you also sound meticulous, and I'm going to make fun of you for that. I'm going to assume that I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but now I don't see any reason to do so, because you've proven once again that you're not as smart as you like to pretend you are. And whether or not that's your fault, I guess that's really up to interpretation, but I think that you're not as smart as you think you are, and other people talk about how smart you are all the time, but I honestly think you just use words around them that they don't know, and that doesn't make you a smart person. And then I'll be like, yes, that is all I have to say to that. Yes is just a big Y, lowercase e, and then another capital S. Just to add some real emphasis to the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm not ready to back down and pretend that I'm just been like a pseudo-intellectual this whole time. Because the term pseudo-intellectual is actually kind of insult. It's used as an insult now, and rightfully so in my opinion. I think people who pretend to be smarter than they are by using words that other people don't know should be chastised and berated and even bullied. Yes, I'm going to say that they should be bullied, because bullying is okay. So if you're going to bully someone because he's dumb, that's wrong. But if you're going to bully somebody because he's pretending to be smart but he's actually dumb, then I believe that is okay. That is absolutely 100% okay in my book. I think you should do that. I think you should even shoot me an email and tell me how that turns out for you, because I think that I would really get a kick out of something like that. If I were to encounter something like that in real life, it would be just a really funny thing for me, and I appreciate all sorts of comments and criticisms and stories, anecdotes that you have to tell. I will read your anecdotes, stories on my show if you want me to, because honestly, what is the content of the show? It's just me talking about nothing for like 40 minutes. Is that really what you want to watch? If you're watching it now, then I guess the answer is yes, and that's fine with me. But to be honest, I don't even know if I'd watch my own show if I wasn't in it. So anyways, yeah, like I was going on about earlier, I would like to do more anecdotes. You can even make up a story if you want to. I don't care. That's not a problem in my book. But yeah, just write a comment or shoot me an email. Like I think my email might be in my About Me section on the page. It's sparkledart@gmail.com. Just go and write me whatever. I will talk about you on the show, and I will do your Q&As, and I will probably stroke my own ego while I'm doing it. So thank you for watching. I've been SparkleDart. Goodbye.